Hey guys, the purpose of this video is to check what's the different types of audio, what audio sounds like on this. Hey, purpose of this video is to check what the different types of audio are that you're going to be hearing in this film. One, I've got attached a Zoom H1, this is a first generation, attached to a small lav mic right here. Behind me, I have a Samsung Galaxy S8, that's going to be recording audio. And the video that you're seeing right here is a Canon 6D Mark II with a Rode Video Mic Pro on top of it. A little shotgun mic, so you might be able to hear the difference between that. This is going to show you what you may want to choose depending on what style of film you're making. So I'm going to switch back and forth between these kind of as I'm talking, and we'll do a quick little test. Stick this in my pocket, press record, and I'll sync these later in post. The audio that you're hearing right now is coming from this little microphone. The audio that you're hearing right now is coming from a Rode Video Mic Pro. The audio you're hearing right now is coming from the Samsung Galaxy S8. I'm not going to play all of those at once. That would be crazy. So, Samsung Galaxy S8 built-in microphone recording, Rode Video Mic Pro shotgun on top of a Canon 6D Mark II. And now back to the lav mic, which I have connected to my shirt right here. Tap, tap, tap. Recording to a Zoom H1. This is probably the way I do it most of the time. You can also overdub your audio in post using a mic. At home I have I believe it's called a Snowball mic. It's like 50 bucks at Best Buy or London Drugs. We'll check those out. I'm going to start working and I'll switch between the different audio sources as we go here. I'm going to move some cameras around too. You're getting moved. You're staying right there. So the project that I've already completed part of the filming for is building a hammer. This is all done on the lathe. I've got two different ones here, and here's part of the hammerhead as we go. Let's see if it'll show up with the autofocus. I see people do this on YouTube. Oh, it's seen my face. Come on, right over here. Gotta hide behind it. Come on, camera. There it is. So this piece, this is gonna eventually look like a ball peen hammer. I'm going to move the cameras around a little bit so you can actually see what's happening here, because you don't want to be looking at this when I'm trying to give an instructional video on this. You want to be seeing what is actually happening in this project so that students can see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this one in right now. Now currently I have my autofocus on, and it might detect my finger if I start moving it in front. I'd like to choose what I want to focus on, so I'm going to set my lens to manual focus so I can play with it and do this. I don't want to film my entire video and finally realize that the whole thing was blurry. I'm going to double check that my focus is where I want it. I'm content with that, and now I'm going to start working. Now I have this video camera set up right well here as well, while that one up there is filming. This way they can both get two different angles at once, and I can edit later in post. This one will be showing my controls on the carriage. This one up here is showing what's happening to the stock and what my cutting bit is going to be doing. Quickly here, I'm just going to show a quick filing demo. And if I screw up, I'm going to edit it out, and you'll only see the good copy when it's done. So you can't see it, but I am wearing some kind of safety protection on my eyes. I'm wearing a full face shield to protect myself against chips. I have short sleeves on, t-shirt, simple. That's a little bit safer than big baggy clothes. Let's get this thing going. I'm going to crank the speed up a little bit to 1200 RPM just for filing to get a nice finish, even though I'm going to be shaping this to a ball peen shape later. Now while I'm filing, I'm using two hands, my left on the handle, my right on the tip, and I'm staying clear of the chuck. My voice might sound a little bit different because my face mask is causing my voice to echo. This whole time while I'm doing this, I'm putting a slight downward force while pushing back and forth. I never pull backwards on here because of the rotation. I'm only doing forward. I lift up, pull back, and keep going. And eventually you get a rhythm that works for you. I'm going to keep doing this until it looks like all those little scratch marks are gone. I could go over it with some emery cloth or emery paper or sandpaper, whatever you want to call it, afterwards. Probably up to about 600 grit. It's going to make it nice and shiny. I'm not going to do this portion yet. Things you don't want to do is grab the stock while it is spinning. Things you don't want to do is grab the stock while it is spinning. Things you don't want to do is grab the stock while it is spinning. Don't touch it until the machine has come to a full or complete stop. You want to be extra safe? Press that lockout button. Hit your safety switches, anything that will prevent the machine from accidentally turning on while you are working. As you're filing, your file can get dirty. So grab yourself a file card, clean up your file now and then, continue working. Turn the machine off, check your work. That looks pretty good to me. That's good enough for what we're doing here. I'm going to take it out, flip it over. Shut key never leaves my hand during this time. You could add a spring in there. I've seen some other tricks. Our lathes don't currently have a guard covering the chuck. But as long as you're careful, you're not going to have to really worry about any issues with that. Okay, that's in there. Nice and tight, snug, but not so tight I break it off. Let's test and make sure that it's actually spinning correctly. Good, nice and straight. I'm going to give this a quick trim. So I'm going to come around here and set up my cutting head, or my cutting bit here. I've already sharpened this, so I don't need to worry about that, but I do need to change the rotation of this so that the only thing that is coming into contact with the metal is that little tip right there. So I'm going to grab one of my wrenches, make some changes here, just a very slight angle. And if I find I need to sharpen my bit, I'll take it off and I'll resharpen it. I showed this trick earlier. If you're not certain if your cutting bit is centered, grab a ruler, a piece of sheet metal, stick it in there, and you're looking to see if it's perfectly straight up and down. Mine is off by about 15 degrees, so that means I need to raise my cutting bit. Much better. That's about 90 right there. Let's keep on cutting. All right, I'm going to do a quick trim. I don't want to bring it much smaller than 1 inch as my plan specified, but I just want to clean it up. I will go ahead with my cutting bit and just let it touch. There we go. And I'm going to buzz left and right. It's cutting a little bit rough, so I probably want to sharpen my bit, but I'm not too worried about it right now. There's a lot of hot little pieces of metal flying off, so make sure you are wearing a face mask. Safety goggles are not good enough, at least when you're in my classroom. Now, I don't have to turn it off to know that I missed some spots. I can just see that as it's rotating. Here the finish looks decent, but I need to go a little bit further to see what's happening here to get that scale cleaned off. So I'm going to give it probably one more pass and then I'm going to file. Nice and slow on your final pass, because that means less filing, less sanding. You can crank your speed up here if you wanted, but as long as your cutting bit is moving slow, you're good. All right, I'm going to move my carriage completely out of the way so there's no danger of my arm getting caught while I'm filing. I could turn the machine on and off in between. Oh, looks like I missed a little spot right there. One more quick pass. I'm going to bring the cutting head back, or my cutting bit back to this. All right, one more quick pass. Nice and slow on my feed here. That'll help give me a nice finish. All right, turn the machine off and I'm going to check it out. Now this whole time, just for you guys, I'm just going to keep the camera rolling. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to be hand holding this and getting some close-up detail shots of here to show the students. So hopefully this isn't completely blocking and you're having to stare at the back of this. I'm going to go manual focus because I want to control what's going on here. I might also have to change my exposure. I think this looks a little bit too bright. Okay. A little hard to see, things are fuzzy, so I'm going to have to make some adjustments. If you're using a DSLR, I can change my aperture to put more things in focus, but this is not a camera course. This is just how to make a tutorial for students. All right, let's get in there. I can't quite focus on that. That looks good to me. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. So here's my stuff right here. It looks pretty good. Hi. Oh, was that today? Yes. Oh man, you got me in the middle of getting prepped for Friday. Okay, let me just press pause on all this stuff here. I thought this was going to happen on no, it's Tuesday. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay, let me just clean up this stuff here. I guess I'm supposed to walk you guys around and show you some stuff. I'll just put that away in here.